Gojira is a 1954 movie directed by Ishirō Honda, and it has gone on to become one of the most influential films of all time. It is one of the earliest creature features from Japan that broke into the mainstream, and especially in Western society in America. And the weird thing about the legacy of this film is that over the years the Godzilla films have become really campy B-movies, really fun, really exciting, full of different creatures that Godzilla has to battle. And the interesting thing is that the original is much more of a drama and almost a horror movie than a campy B-movie. And that all has to do with the themes that are tackled in the film, because, well, the film is about a giant lizard destroying the cities. It is very much a film about post-World War II Japan, a Japan that was almost completely destroyed, especially on a cultural level, by the two nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And Godzilla, unlike other films nowadays, which is just baffling if you ask me, it actually manages to show the level of destruction and of loss that is featured in the story, because nowadays, with a lot of these big budget blockbuster films, there are entire cities being destroyed and there's just some news bulletin showing, yeah, people are sad. But in this film there is a lot of focus on the human element, and unlike other films, like also the new remake, the 2014 remake, which was pretty good honestly, it has even more interesting character. It has a doctor who is trying to understand who Godzilla is, how he came to be. There is a scientist who contributed in some way to creating a new weapon that could be used in terrible ways, just like nuclear bomb. There are two people who are in love or trying to survive during the chaos and destruction. And these four main characters make up for a really interesting and morally ambiguous tale, especially the character of the scientist, because there are a lot of dilemmas, a lot of conflicts that were only possible because of what happened before in history. And this is a perfect example of how a relatively simple and straightforward monster movie or film in general could have bigger meanings and bigger depths. It critiques war, it critiques weapons of mass destruction, and it critiques what happened in the past. And it's, as I said, it's an incredibly tragic film, even though I can't deny there are some really terrific scenes of destruction with a lot of miniature effects of this giant guy in this big suit that actually still really works in the context of the film and in the historical context. And while nowadays some will watch this film and find it dated and find it uninteresting, find it a little bit boring outside of the action scenes, I disagree. I do believe that this is a film that has held up really well, even though it undeniably has some moments that are relatively a bit too quiet, a bit too dead, especially in the first half of the film. But once Godzilla actually appears, when there are the interesting themes that are put in motion, it becomes a wholly more interesting film, and it has aged fantastically well, including the iconic score. So guys, I highly recommend, before going out to watch the soon-to-be-released Godzilla King of Monsters, which looks like a ton of fun, I do recommend to go out and seek out the first iteration in the Godzilla canon, because it's one of the most important films of the history of Japan, of film cinema, and of fantasy creature features in general. But still guys, have you watched the 1954 version of Godzilla? Do you like it, and which is your favorite Godzilla movie? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks guys for watching, to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.